The story of British India, silver coins, begins not with a king, but with a corporation. The East India Company, a formidable trading giant, arrived on Indian shores looking for profit, not empire. To facilitate their vast and complex commercial activities, they needed a reliable currency. In the early days, they used a mix of local Indian currencies and European coins, which was often chaotic and inefficient. The sheer diversity of coinage across the Indian subcontinent, with hundreds of princely states issuing their own money, created constant problems with exchange rates and authenticity. The company quickly realized that to control trade, they needed to control the money. This simple commercial necessity was the seed from which a new imperial currency would eventually grow, a currency that would one day span the entire subcontinent. The first steps were tentative. Around the mid-17th century, the East India Company established its first mints in places like Madras and Bombay. These early coins were often imitations of the local currencies, particularly those of the powerful Mughal Empire. The company astutely understood that for their money to be accepted by the local population, it had to look familiar. They minted silver rupees that closely resembled the coins of the reigning Mughal emperors, sometimes even including the emperor's name and titles. This was a clever political move. It showed a nominal deference to the existing power structure while simultaneously embedding the company's economic influence deep within the Indian marketplace, a subtle act of infiltration through currency. These initial coins were produced under the authority of the company's three administrative presidencies, Bengal, Bombay, and Madras. Each presidency issued its own distinct coinage, leading to a confusing variety even within the company's own system. A rupee from Bengal did not always have the same silver content or value as one from Bombay. The designs, while often based on Mughal patterns, incorporated small, subtle marks to denote their origin. A tiny flower, a specific mint mark, or a particular arrangement of dots. These were not just pieces of silver, they were tangible symbols of the company's growing territorial and economic footprint. Markers of an emerging power, asserting its presence one transaction at a time. The silver for these coins was sourced from all over the world. Vast quantities of it flowed from the Americas through Europe and into the company's coffers in India. This global movement of bullion highlights the interconnectedness of the early modern world. The silver was then melted down and struck into coins using a combination of traditional Indian techniques and newer European machinery. The process was laborious. Dies were hand engraved, and the coins were often struck by hand with a hammer, resulting in variations and imperfections that make each piece unique to a modern collector. These early coins tell a story of adaptation, ambition, and the quiet metallic beginnings of what would become the British Raj. The year 1835 marked a pivotal moment in the history of Indian currency. The patchwork of presidency coinage was finally swept away by the Coinage Act, which introduced a uniform system for all of British India. This was no longer just about facilitating trade, it was a powerful statement of political consolidation. By creating a single standardized currency, the British were erasing the numismatic boundaries of the old princely states and imposing a unified imperial identity. The Act mandated that all new coins bear the effigy of the reigning British monarch, a clear and unmistakable symbol of where ultimate authority now resided. The Mughal emperor's name was gone, replaced by the profile of a distant king. The primary silver coin of this new era was the rupee, which was standardized to weigh 180 grains troy, 1 tola, with a silver fineness of 91.7%. Along with the rupee, a whole family of silver coins was introduced to serve the needs of a vast and complex economy. These included Media Group close-up of British India half-rupee silver coin, set of British India silver coins from the 19th century, a stock distribute equally the half-rupee, the quarter-rupee, and the 2 annas piece. This standardized system made commerce incredibly efficient across the vast territories under British control. A merchant in Calcutta could now do business with a farmer in the Punjab without worrying about exchange rates or the purity of the silver. The coins became the lifeblood of the colonial economy, used for everything from paying taxes and soldiers' salaries to buying daily necessities in the smallest village market. The production of these coins was a massive industrial undertaking. The British established large modern mints in Calcutta, Bombay, and later in Madras, equipped with the latest steam-powered coining presses imported from England. These machines, products of the Industrial Revolution, could strike coins with a speed and uniformity that was previously unimaginable. This mechanization was a display of British technological superiority. It ensured that the currency was difficult to counterfeit and consistently high in quality, further building public trust in the colonial monetary system. The rhythmic clang of the coining presses in these mints was the sound of empire being forged, one silver coin at a time. The usage of these coins permeated every level of Indian society. For the British administration, they were the tools of governance, used to pay for the vast infrastructure projects, railways, telegraph lines, and canals that bound the subcontinent together. For ordinary Indians, these silver pieces represented wages, savings, and the means of survival. A single silver rupee was a significant sum for a labourer, often representing several days' worth of hard work. Women often wore silver coins as jewellery, a practice that served as both adornment and a portable form of wealth. The coins were everywhere, a constant, tangible reminder of the new imperial order that governed their lives. The designs of British India silver coins are a gallery of imperial portraits, changing with each successive monarch who sat on the throne in London. The series began with King William IV in 1835, whose image graced the coins for a brief period. He was soon followed by Queen Victoria, whose long reign is captured in the changing portraits on her coinage. The early coins show her as a young, graceful queen. As her reign progressed, the design was updated to the Jubilee portrait, depicting a more mature and imperial figure. Finally, the old head or veiled head portrait showed her as the aged Empress of India, a symbol of the empire's perceived permanence and power. After Victoria, the coins featured the effigies of the male monarchs, who followed Edward VII, George V, and finally George VI. Each portrait was a reflection of the monarch's official image, facing a different direction from their predecessor, as is traditional in British numismatics. The reverse side of the coins also evolved, though the central motif often remained a simple wreath surrounding the denomination and date. The inscription East India Company on the early issues was replaced by Victoria Queen and later a Victoria Empress, tracing the political transition from corporate rule to direct imperial sovereignty. These changes in design were closely followed by the public, as a new monarch's coin was a major event. The value of these coins was intrinsically tied to the silver they contained. In an era before fiat currency became the norm, the worth of a coin was based on its precious metal content. This meant that the global price of silver could directly impact the colonial economy. When silver prices fell, it could lead to economic instability. During World War I and World War II, the demands of war financing put immense pressure on silver reserves. This led to a debasement of the coinage. The silver content of the rupee was progressively reduced, and by the end of World War II, the silver coins were being minted from cheaper metals like nickel, marking the end of a long era of silver currency. These coins were not just economic instruments, they were potent propaganda. Every coin was a miniature billboard for the British Empire, circulating a message of power and stability to the farthest corners of the subcontinent. The image of the British monarch in the hands of millions of Indians served as a daily reinforcement of colonial rule. The title, Emperor of India, which appeared on the coins from King George V onwards, was a particularly powerful declaration. It projected an image of a single, all-powerful ruler, replacing the complex web of loyalties that had defined pre-colonial India. The coins were a silent but effective tool in the psychological project of empire building. The journey of British India silver coins came to an end with India's independence in 1947. The new Republic of India began to issue its own currency, featuring national symbols like the Ashoka lion capital instead of the British monarch's head. The old silver coins were gradually withdrawn from circulation, but they did not disappear. They were saved in jars, hidden away in family treasuries, or melted down for their silver content. Over time, these remnants of the Raj transformed from everyday money into historical artifacts. Their special status as antiques comes from this direct physical connection to a pivotal and often tumultuous period in world history. Each coin is a survivor, a small piece of the empire that can be held in the palm of your hand. For collectors today, both in America and around the world, the appeal of these coins is multifaceted. They are attracted by the history they represent, the rise and fall of the East India Company, the grandeur of the Victorian era, the two world wars, and the dawn of independence. Collecting a series of these coins is like assembling a timeline of the British Raj. There is also the thrill of the hunt. Collectors seek out coins from specific years, mints, identified by tiny marks, or monarchs. Rare varieties, such as those with minting errors, or those produced for only a short period, can command high prices and are highly sought after by numismatists. The value of these coins in the modern market is driven by several factors. Rarity is key. A coin minted in a year with low production will naturally be more valuable. The condition or grade of the coin is also crucial. A coin that saw little circulation and retains its original detail is far more desirable than one that is heavily worn. Finally, the intrinsic value of the silver itself provides a solid floor to their price, especially for the more common dates. This combination of historical significance, collectability, and precious metal content makes them a fascinating intersection of hobby and investment for many people. Ultimately, British India silver coins are more than just old money. They are miniature historical documents that tell a grand story of commerce, conquest, technology, and cultural exchange. They chart the course of an empire, from a trading company's tentative first steps to its eventual departure. For modern collectors, they offer a tangible link to the past, a way to connect with the lives of people who lived in a different era. The continued interest in these silver relics ensures that their legacy endures, their metallic gleam reflecting a complex history that continues to fascinate and educate us long after the empire they served has faded into memory.